Welcome to Console Accessories, and coming up on today's video.
Oh, grippy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Smooth and shiny. Really nice feel, really nice weight. Hello, welcome to Console Accessories, and on today's video I'm going to be going over the Xbox One Elite Series 2 controller. And I'll be comparing it to the Series 1, so let's quickly whip this open. There we go. This has served me so well. I've been using this for over a year now, daily, and it's been dropped, and it's been poked and prodded and used and battered and bashed, and look at it, it's in such good condition. It's so well made. I'm so pleased with this. Yeah, it could do with a bit of a clean, admittedly. Really impressed with the quality of this. Love it. Okay, so if we leave that there, let's go on to the 2. There we go, same sort of box, really good quality, thick box. And there we have it. There it is, and then we've got a bit of gubbins in here, a bit of paperwork, and this is your USB cable. I've lost the USB for that one. I have no idea where it is. And here it is. It's good 10-foot long, braided. Feel that. Lovely. USB-C, nice. And just plug it in because I'll show you that in a bit. And here's the main man. Let's take this out. So straight away, differences. This seems to be all one bit, and this is one bit here with some plastic up the top here. This isn't plastic, this is kind of the rubberish here. So more black than silver in here. And then let's make that the same. So silver and black, silver and black. Okay, so let's look at the bits in here. So the cases are different. In fact, it's probably a good time if we weigh them, because I wanted to show you the difference. So that is 580 grams. This is a whopping 725 grams, so 145 grams more than the one, and I'll explain to you why that I think that is. So there we go. And in here, if you can see the case, there's this bit immediately different, and I'll show you what that is in a minute. And we've got the same. This one I've lost one of the thumbsticks because I've been using it for ages, but same with these thumbsticks here. If I compare them, they are a bit different. A lot wider and a lot thinner. Okay, this is a more of a grippy one. This is a soft, smoother one. This is the grippy one with the longer stick here, so they're virtually the same. You can tell it's bigger. And then we've got another grippy one there, and another grippy one there. And the two I've got on here, this one's got some ridges on it that make it a little bit grippier, and this one's just smooth. So this bit in here, what it is, this is what the extra weight comes from. This comes out, and this will sit. It can sit wherever you like, but it's meant to sit in there because it's a little bit magnetized, I think, to stick in there. There's a little bit of resistance there, so it's meant to sit in there. And you get your USB cable, and on the back of your controller there's a rubber flap. So you'd open that up and you'd poke that through. It doesn't plug into the controller, it just comes, the case, it just comes through the case. And it meets up with that USB-C there. So you would plug it in, and that's plugged in. And then when you want to charge it, you just dump it on there. Because this doesn't have a battery pack on here like this one does. So this one, you put a couple of rechargeable batteries in there and a couple on charge and swap them over. This one has an extra bit on there, so you dump it. So what you do is, when you finish playing the games, just whack that on there, leave it overnight, and in the morning you're good to go and all charged up. Really good. Wireless charging. It's excellent. That's one of the best features, and that's why the difference in the weight for the case. Whereas if we weigh them individually, the one is 375, that is 3 So it's 40 grams lighter because it hasn't got the battery. It's got an extra battery pack in there. All the weight with the case comes from this bit here. So the buttons feel the same. The D-pad feels the same. On the front, we've got 3 LEDs here. Nothing on here. With the Xbox One, the Series 1, you have a profile 1 and 2. With this here, you would have your 3 profiles. So you'd select 1, 2, or 3, profile 3. You do that up in the software, which I'll show you later how to set up the different profiles. In the software, you can have, loads and loads of profiles set up. But you specifically have 3 set on the controller. So you'd select profile 1, profile 2, and do that on the fly. The difference on the front is this button here. On the one, it's got quite a lot of travel, whereas this is just a click. It's just a simple click. Okay, a little bit of travel. And then on the back, as we've said, no battery pack, and the trigger stops here. So with the one, the trigger stops were either short or long. So short, long. On the 2, we now have 3 settings. So we have short, medium, and then long. Okay, short, long. You can do that with both of them, so you've got an extra setting on there. And also the paddles are different. Now I want to show you this because this was the best thing about this controller is the paddles. Bar none, there's no other controller out there, whether it be for Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, or for anything. Nothing can beat these paddles. I've had scuffs before with their paddle system, not as good as this. I've got a Nacon, the paddle system isn't as good as this one, although the controller does come close, but the paddles just aren't as good. And if you see on this one, it'd be easier if I take them off. If I take the top right one here and top right one here, look at that. Much bigger than that one. Okay, so if I take the big one off this one, it's almost the same size as the small one from the one. So there's the small ones, there's your big ones, and then the big one here from the one, much bigger, much bigger. But fortunately, so if I take the 2 from the Series 2, I can put them in the 1. So I like these paddles, so I'm going to swap them over. So there's your 2 for your Series 2. And then there's the Series 1. So I'm going to put them on there. If you do have a 1 and you're upgrading to a 2, you have the choice. You can change over to whichever ones you want. Whether it be the small one for there, and a big one like that. You can swap them around, mix and match to how you suit it. Because it doesn't take much time at all to figure out. And I know I like the bigger one, so I'm going to stick with the Series 1. But even if you don't have a Series 1, you can buy spare paddles off Amazon. Third-party sellers sell them for about $20, 15 quid. Look at that, clicky, very clicky, great paddles. And on the front there's more grip on there than there is on this one. Smoother on there with the grip around the back. Admittedly that's gone a bit shiny now because I've been using it so much. Whereas it's gripping all the way around under this bit now. Okay, so you can still buy these if you want to. You can still get these for around about $130 or 120 quid. And you can get the Series 2 for around $180 or 160 quid. If I'm honest with you, if you're going to spend, and you've got the money to spend $130 on a controller, just pay a little bit extra and get the Series 2. I think the addition of the kind of wireless charging is huge. There's a few extra bits and bobs in there that make the price as well, that I think this is definitely worth the extra money over the one. You've got this tensioning tool here that you plug into these bits, and what it does is 3 settings, so 1, 2 and 3. It makes it a little bit stiffer, so you've got that, makes it a little bit stiff. If I go back to 1, it makes it really loose. Or if you want it in the middle, just change it to that one, and it's about halfway between. See if you like to stiff it, do it that way. I love my one. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. One of the best controller there is out there. And this has just made it better, just from the battery. Don't have to worry about faffing around with swapping batteries on. Just plonk it on and go. again in this wonderful case, really good quality case. This has been unzipped and unzipped loads, and it's still in really good quality, really good shape. And this one, with the addition of this, just sets it off beautifully. Very, very impressed with this. I think if you're going to serious about gaming, you do game on your Xbox a lot, definitely worth the money. Go out and get yourself one of these. I'll link to it in the description below where you can get them from Amazon or Best Buy. I think the best place in America to get them is. So, what are your thoughts? Do you like this? Have you got one? And do you agree with me that this is the greatest controller that's out there at the moment? Xbox have really excelled themselves with this one. Just be nice if Nintendo and Sony would go about the same way. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, we've had a quick look at this. We're going to go now and swap over to the software just to show you what it's like and how to set up all the little bits and bobs for all that. Okay, so here we are. And on the dashboard, all you do is you go, if you haven't got it already, you go to the apps and download the app called Xbox Accessories. And then when you click on that, it will take you to this screen and you can configure your Xbox Elite Series 2 from this screen. Now I've got it do wirelessly at the moment, so it doesn't appear, I don't need it plugged in. And then you hit configure, and on the left here you can either set up a new profile or you can choose one of the three here. Now these three here can be set onto your controller, so you can swap between the three profiles on the fly using the middle button, black button that you can see above those three LEDs. See on the screen there, it's got the three LEDs. So that would be profile 3 selected. If you have two lit up, it'd be profile 2, and if you have one lit up, which is the top one, that'd be profile 1 set up. And you can have 3 loaded on a controller, but you can have loads and loads set up in the software. So just set up loads, as many as you can, and then the 3 you like, you flick onto your controller, and then you can muck about with them on the fly on your controller. So let's pick one of these. Let's pick profile number 1. So if I select that, I can change it to be either slot 1, 2 or 3. Along here, I can then go into configure it. Here I can rename it. So let's just rename it test. And then, if I then go to, I can delete it or I can copy it into another profile. So if you like something, you just copy it and then you can re-edit it. So then what you do is you go into edit it, and this is where all of the settings are. So first up, it's mapping, and you can change any of these to be anything else. So for example, up on the D-pad, I could change that to be any of these if I wanted it to be. So if a specific game up on the D-pad you don't use, but you wanted it to be kind of reload, but reloads on the Y button, you can just set it to be the Y button. And here is a shift button. Now this is a different feature. What it is the best way to explain it is having like a shift and another key on a keyboard. So when you want to do like an uppercase R, you press shift and then R. You would set on the software, I want screen grab to be shift A. So you would set the shift key as the left trigger and the A, and then whenever you press those two, it would do a screen grab for you. So it's kind of just like shortcuts really. And you can change all of these to be whichever ones you want, or restore to the default, which would change the D-pad that we changed back to D-pad up. Okay, and then going along to left stick. Now here with the left, because you're changing the left stick, you can't use the left stick to navigate the menu, so you swap over to the D-pad up and down, because your left stick's going to be doing what? Here, you can either set to primary, or we can do is the shift key as we told you about. And then we have all these different settings here. The only way you're going to be able to work out which one's good for you is just changing it and then playing a game and seeing what you like. But if we just set that to default, and then the calculation, axis independent, I'm not sure, 2 diagonals, I'm not sure what that means, but give it a go, see where you might like it, you never know. And then exactly the same with the right stick. Your right stick's going along there, and you change it here, all the sensitivity stuff. Next is your triggers. Now this one you probably will adjust to how you like it. So if I pull my left trigger in, you can see there we go, so much I pull it in. If I pull it in a little bit or forward, and it shows you how quickly I can do it. You can change it to have kind of like only need to go down to, let's say, 50. So as soon as you kind of tap the left trigger, you're going to hit it straight up there. Or you can get it right up to 100, and exactly the same with. So if I just mirror the triggers, it'll be easier. And that's the right trigger going 68. All the way up to 100. So if you're kind of doing a little bit, you want like a little bit feathering the trigger, you would have it like that. But if you wanted instant impact on the trigger, you can change this right down. And then as soon as you tap it, the trigger's going to go. And then vibrations, you can turn these off if you want. So we've got the left trigger and the left main, right trigger. Let that go. And then the right main as well. You can change those to how you want it to be. If you don't want any on the trigger, turn it off. If you don't want any triggers, turn that off. But you want the main ones on the really full whack, there you go. Just that yourself. Nice. And then brightness is simply the brightness of the kit of the button there. That's it. If you want to do it down or right up, easy one. So the main ones you'll be doing will be the triggers. The right stick's a bit more complicated, working out what you need and what it's going to, how are you going to set it up. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really get it. There's other videos out there that will show you about what all this means. I just leave it on default because I'm not that much of a pro gamer, to be honest. And then the mapping as well, you use that quite a lot, especially with the shift functionality. Okay, and then once you've done that, you say test. Yeah, I've got that all set up nicely. You can set test and you can put that into 1, 2 or 3. And as you see on the left there, 3 is now test. But we can put Fort back on there. There you go. And then with the button in the middle there, with just above those 3 LEDs, press that for 1, 2 and then 3. Okay, so that's the software. If you've played with a Series 1 controller, you'll be very familiar with this software because it's virtually the same. With the 2, if you're new to this, just spend 10 minutes or so going through it because it does get a little bit involved and you could spend hours tweaking it, so go for it. But overall, fantastic controller, absolutely love it, well worth the money, definitely go out and get it. Okay, so let's go back with the closing thoughts. So here we are finishing off. Here's the 1 and the 2. Now what do you think? Can you tell if I like it or not? Yes, I do. This is absolutely fantastic. This is such a good piece of kit. This is by far the best controller I've ever played with across all consoles. Everything about it, the quality, the feel, the materials, the paddles, the new charging system, really, really like this. I think if you've got a 1 and it's in good condition, if you can afford $180 or 160 quid, I mean, who can, do get it. But this is such a nice piece of kit, and the fact that mine has lasted for so long, it's well worth holding on to. But I think if you're in the market for a brand new controller and you want to step your game up, definitely get the Series 2. Love this controller. Really, really good. Impressed as hell with this. So, are you thinking about getting one? Let me know in the comments below if you're going to get one, or if you've got one. Have I missed out any of the features? And what's your best bit about it? For me, it's the being able to charge it and just dunk it on the wireless charger. That's the best bit for me. But what about you? Okay, that's it for this video. I hope that you found something useful and interesting. And until the next video. Bye bye.